Hey everyone, today we're going to go back to our Speed Zoominator series and we're going to fix these orbs because I know they're causing a bit of problem with some people. There is a few errors. It doesn't happen every time you touch the orb, but sometimes you'll get like a leader stats error. I can't exactly remember what the error says, but it's something like attempt to index nil with leader stats. In fact, actually, I think that is exactly what it is. So let's have a look at fixing this. I've got a refined script that I've come up with, so let's go to Island 1, we'll start with Island 1, and I'll find just one orb. I'll get the first one here, and we'll open the script. Now, what do we first see? Well, it's very messy. We're calling the humanoid the player in a variable, then we're getting the player and calling it player. Well, that's just confusing. We should probably be checking that the player has leader stats before we do all of this. It's just, all in all, it's messy script, okay? So we're going to quickly fix it. I'm not going to go through all of these scripts because this series is a couple years old now, so some of these scripts aren't going to be as optimized, obviously, but I'm not going to go through all of them because the game still works well. But do feel free to sort of go through and optimize everything after this, but it should all be pretty good. I think it's mainly just these scripts that are a big problem. So we'll keep the amount where it is. We just set that on the server. We could set it each time it's hit because this does mean it's going to give the player the same amount each time. So we could actually do this in the touch, so let's do that in there. So local amount equals math.random to 15. So this is the random amount that the player will gain. So now we can remove this amount at the top. Now rather than doing script.parent, because we do that quite a few times, we may as well say orb equals script.parent. And then rather script.parent, we can just say orb.touched. Anywhere where we've got script.parents, let's have a look. Script.parent here. Remove that and replace it with orb, script.parent and replace it with orb. Then script.disabled is fine. And now let's do some more optimization. So first of all, I'm going to get the character. So local character equals hit.parent, because if the player, it's the player's character that touched the orb, then we're going to get their character from hit.parent. If character then, we're using hit.parent because if the player touches the orb, they're going to touch it with, say, their right leg or their left leg. The parent of, basically they're going to touch it with a limb. The parent of the limb is the player's character. So that's why we say hit.parent and not just hit. Because if we do local character equals hit, we might be assigning their right arm, for example. And we want to get the character, which is the parent of that. So if the character exists, then what we'll do, we don't actually need the humanoid, because if you look in the script, we aren't using player anywhere. So let's just remove that. I'm then going to cut this local player line and paste it into here. So we've got local player equals game.players : get player from character, and rather than hit.parent we can just say character now. Now I'll say if player then, so if the player has loaded into the game, if the player exists, let's check for leader stats. Local leader stats equals player : find first child leader stats, like this. This will now check if the player has leader stats before we do anything else. Then we can say if leader stats then, so if the leader stats have loaded in, if the leader stats do exist within the player, then we can do this. Because what I think the error is it's trying to access the leader script sometimes, the leader stats, sorry, but they've not loaded into the player, or for some reason it can't find them. So if we look to try and find them first, and then check if we did find them. If we didn't find them, this would be nil. So if leader stats equal to nil, but obviously we don't want that. We want to check if leader stats does exist. Then we can do all of this script. So let's cut all of this and paste it in. As rather than player.leaderstats, we can obviously just say leader stats now. So I'll do that everywhere where we've got player.leaderstats. I'll just replace that with leader stats, and that's basically it. So now this script, we can actually test it. So let's just, this is the orb we were using. If you select the orb and then hit F on your keyboard, it will teleport you to it. So let me select play here. You can see I can collect it and it will disappear. It should respawn as well. And I'll just make sure it gives us a random amount of points each time. I didn't actually see how many it gave us then, so I'll try it again. So we've got 950 and now, or 980. So that gave us 8 points. And we'll wait for it to respawn. It should give us a different number. It should be random each time you touch it now. So that one gave us, we went from 8 to 33. Did we have 8? Oh, we must have gained points as we selected it as well. Okay, so I've got to retest that. There we go, so that one gave us 10, so that is different. Yeah, you've got to be careful when testing these, because obviously as you walk around you do increase your points as well. So you don't want to increase your points as you touch it, because then you can't get a true value. Do these still work? They should do. Okay, so we got an error there as well. Attempt to index newer portals, we'll get on that in a minute. I'll have a look at that, but first let's copy this orb across all of these. So what we'll do is, the best way of doing this is going to view, go to command bar, and I'll put this command in the description, but you want to say workspace, actually not even, you want to say for I, v in pairs workspace.island1.orbs GetChildren do, and not even GetChildren, we're going to do GetDescendants, so we get everything. Don't worry about what this code all means. I'll put this in the description for you to copy and paste over. Obviously change it so like if you're not called Island 1, it's called something else, change it to that. You basically just want to get into this Orbs folder, and we're going to access every Orb script. With the script we just made, I'm going to drag it into the workspace, and we'll come back to it. So first of all, we want to delete every script in the Orbs. So make sure you've dragged the script we've just made outside of the Orb into the workspace, just so it's not in there. All the others can keep their scripts. And what we'll say is, after the do, so if v : is a script, that's very important, we're checking if it's a script, then v : destroy. And then end and end again. Again, I'll have this code in the description, so don't worry too much about it, just copy and paste it over. Again, just making sure you're accessing the right sort of pathway to your Orbs model. Now if we do that, all these orbs get deleted. I'm going to do the same for Island 2, but I'll do that in a minute because that's a different value. So I'll just, actually no, I'll do it now. So for Island 2, the math.random, I'll just copy the math.random and put it into the script we've made, which is in the workspace here. And I'll just add a little comment. This is for Island 2, just so we know how much Island 2 is worth. So rather than .island1, we'll have .island 2. Again, will be in the description. Now, if we hit enter, all those scripts get deleted. Now let's go back to Island 1 and change that to Island 1. Do. And what we're going to do, rather than GetDescendants, we're going to GetChildren. So this will get each orb. So GetChildren will get each part in the Orbs model. GetDescendants gets each everything. So it gets the children of the Orbs. Bit confusing. Don't worry too much about it, as I say. Just copy and paste it over. And this time, after the do, we'll say local script, we'll do underscore script, we can't call it script. Local underscore script equals workspace.Script. Make sure you have no other scripts in your workspace called script. And then we'll say underscore script :clone. Actually, we'll say :clone there. So local underscore script equals workspace.Script :clone. And then we'll say underscore script dot parent equals v. End. And I think we're going to need one end. Now if we do that, yeah, the script gets duplicated into each orb. We have got this little commented line here, but it doesn't matter because it's commented out. So now what I'll do is I'm just going to copy the amount, close the script, go back to the one that we've got in the workspace here. I can close Island 1 now, and I'll just change the amount to this here. So amount just to our Island 2 random amount. I can remove that comment now. So now we've got our Island 2 sort of modified script here. Now if I close that, I'll do the exact same thing, just change this to Island 2, hit enter, and all of Island 2 now has our orb scripts, and it's got the same random amount, which is perfect. And that's it. So now we can close if we go to view, close the command bar, clear the output, and it should all be fine now. Now if we hit test and play, touch is not a valid member of workspace. So okay, so what have we got wrong here? Oh, so because I've left the script in workspace here, and also a mistake I've just made. Doesn't matter too much. I've not put local in front of this amount. It won't affect your script. It might just give you a little warning. It's a bit late now actually. I could just go into each of these and add local before that amount. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do that, but it's good practice too. I don't know if it will throw you a warning in the output. It might do, but you can just ignore it. It's just because we've basically said this variable is global even though it's local, so it's implicitly making it local, but we're not explicitly declaring it local. So let's just do that. There we go. You don't have to do that step, but I would recommend it. If we did that from the beginning, it would be much easier. Now if we hit test and play, we shouldn't get any errors. So let's have a look. So yeah, that one works. That one works. I'll just touch, like, I won't do all of them, but I'll do most. And hopefully they won't break. And no, we've got no errors in the output, so it's all working well. Perfect. So next, let's look at these portals. So we have got this attempt to index nil portal. So if we click this, okay, so again, exact same thing. We just need to do a couple of, I'm not going to go as in detail with these scripts. What I'll do is just go to island 1, go to our, I don't actually know whether they're saved, here, portals. So we'll go desert. So we've actually got a name for island 2, okay. It's been a while, portal frame 2 is this one, so portal frame 1 is this one. Okay, so I'll open up the portal frame 1 script, because that's where the error is coming from. I'll do the portal 2 script in a second. All I'm going to do, exact same thing. We don't even need the player here, the humanoid, so I'll remove that. The player is correct. I'll just do if player then. We'll also do if hit.parent then, and then put all of this code in there. And then we'll cut that and put it in the if player then. And then we'll say if player colon find first child portals then, and then we can do that, and that should be alright. Okay, we do actually need the player in this one. So I'm going to copy the local player, put it under the hit.parent, make this local humanoid equals player. Sorry, I should have this after there. So local humanoid equals player colon find first child humanoid. And then we'll do if humanoid, or no, we'll do the humanoid after the if player then. Then we'll do if humanoid, then, and then we'll do that. And then rather than player here, it would be humanoid. And that's that. I'm just going to copy all of that code, close that script, go into our frame 2. I'll paste it in here. What is different? Okay, so this one's not a problem at all. I don't think that's a problem. So I'll close that. I'll go to our island 3. And paste it all in here. I'll paste it at the bottom because the coordinates are going to be different. So all I'm going to do is copy these coordinates, paste them into there, and this is for P2, so I'll change that to P2. Other than that, I'll remove that, and we should now have working portals, hopefully. So let's play here, and hopefully we don't get errors now. Let me mute that. So that doesn't work, and that doesn't work, so that's good. So that's a good start. I'll do some debugging and I'll get back to you. Okay, so the reason for this is actually really simple. We're doing player colon find first child humanoid. Well, the humanoid's not part of the player, it's part of the character. So we'll just say, we could say player.character, or we could just do hit.parent, because the hit.parent is the character. So that's what I'll do. And then I'll change that in the island 3 portal as well. So again, just rather than player, we'll change this to hit.parent. And then it should now work. So now if we run through it, teleports us no errors. And same here, teleports us no errors. Perfect. I think that's most of the errors fixed. I don't think there's any more. So yeah, that's it. I hope you found the video helpful, everyone. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. I've got a couple more videos planned for the speed simulator. I know we said it was finished, but I've had a few suggestions, and I think they're actually a really good idea. So I'm going to get onto them. I can't tell you when the next one will be. I'm going to try and get it done as soon as possible, but I do obviously want to get more videos as well. I don't want to focus my attention onto this, but I'll get on it. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.